Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to this first tutorial of SQL, and we will make our development and learning process really very easy and simple, and we will learn this with the help of W3 Schools. Okay, so directly go to w3schools.com, and after coming to this website, click on the tutorials and then click on learn SQL. Okay, after that click on the SQL introduction. Over here we will see the introduction to the SQL. So what is this SQL? Okay, so SQL stands for structured query language. This is basically the full form of SQL. We will learn SQL with the help of this website, because from this website uh, actually everything is really very easy and simple to make use of. You will also have the reference to the content, and also you'll be able to watch and learn simultaneously. Okay, so that's why I am making use of this website to create a tutorial. Next point is SQL lets you access and manipulate the database. Okay, so SQL is basically the it's a language which is used to manipulate the databases or anything that is any work which involves making use of the database. That time SQL is used. SQL became a standard of the American National Standard Institute, which is ANSI, in 1986, and of the International Organization of Standard, which is ISO, in 1987. Okay, so this is just extra information which is given over here. What can SQL do? SQL can execute the queries against a database, which you will see in the future what SQL can actually do. SQL can retrieve the data from a database. If you want any data which is there in the database, you can get it the way you want with the help of the SQL. SQL can insert a record to the database. Whatever record that you want to put inside of the database, you can do that with the help of the SQL. SQL can update a record of database if there is some pre recorded information in the database, and if you want to update something like the update the name of person or a roll number or any number or any other information, then you can do that with the help of the SQL. SQL can delete a record. Okay, if you want to delete something from the database, you can do that with the help of the SQL. SQL can create a new database. If you want to create a new database, you can do that with the help of the SQL. SQL can create a new table. SQL can create stored procedures in a database. SQL can create a view in a database. SQL can set permissions on the table, procedures, and the views. Okay, so as of now, this is just a brief information about what SQL can do, which you will see in the future in this tutorial. So as of now, you can just overlook this part, because this is just an introduction, and you will actually see what SQL can do in the future tutorials. Okay, this is just a brief introduction. Okay, so SQL is a standard, but these are this is the extra information which is given over here. Although SQL is a ANSI and ISO standard, there are different versions of the SQL language. However, to compliance with the ANSI standard, there are some standards which are set up by the ANSI. They all support at least the major commands, okay, such as the select, update, delete, insert, and where. Okay, so these are some of the major commands which are used in the SQL, and whatever versions of the SQL there might be, but these are the major commands. Okay, so these are the major commands, like the select, update, delete, insert, and where, which has to be supported by the different versions of the SQL. Now the next point is using the SQL in your websites. To build a website that shows the data from the database, you will need an RDBMS database program. RDBMS stands for this Relational Database Management System, which we will see afterwards. And RDBMS database programs such as the MS Access, SQL Server, MySQL, to use a server-side scripting language like the PHP or the ASP, to use the SQL to get the data you want, to use HTML, CSS to style a page. Okay, so this is the some of the places where the SQL is used. And if you don't know the if you don't have any idea about the HTML and the CSS, you can access my other courses. Over there you will find the course which is made by me on the HTML and CSS. Next point is RDBMS. RDBMS stands for Relational Database Management System. So this is the full form of RDBMS. RDBMS is basically it's basics of for SQL, and for all the modern database systems such as the MS SQL Server, MS SQL Server, IBM DB2, Oracle, MySQL, and Microsoft Access. Okay, and over here there are different platforms which are used in order to learn SQL, and the most famous one is Oracle. The data in the RDBMS is stored in the database object called a table. Okay, so this is the form in which data is stored inside of a database, RDBMS, sorry. The table is collection of the related data entries, and it consists of the columns and rows. So table is nothing but you can imagine a table as a normal table which consists of rows and the columns, and which you will see in the future afterwards. In the upcoming tutorials I will show you what is this table and how it contains the rows and columns. Okay, so don't worry about anything. And okay, so now let me just show you one example over here. Let me just click on this run SQL. Okay, so now it can be seen this is the table. Okay, so this table consists of the columns, which is customer ID, customer name, contact number, address, city, postcode, country, etc. So these are the columns, and the rows are these. Okay, this is the first row, this is the second row, this is the third row, this is the fourth row, this is the fifth row. So this is an example of this table, and every table is broken up. Okay, so this is the additional information which is given over here about the table, which is told by me just now. And yeah, this is the overall introduction to the SQL, what SQL can do, what is the what is the definition of the SQL, then what SQL stands for, using the how you can use the SQL in your website, and what is RDBMS. Okay, so this was all about the SQL. Thanks for watching, and the next tutorial we will see something else, that is the SQL syntax in the next tutorial. Thanks for watching.